Right. So good morning, everybody. We are live, 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 live. Excited to be here. I'm checking my pages and making sure that I am live. Let me just check here. I said I am live, but really, we are live because I'm teaming up here with Marcia, and I'm making sure that we are live. So first, of course, I want you to let me know if you are hearing me and seeing me. You're seeing Marcia and I. We are on your screen. We are live, ready to give you a part two of our From Branding to Budgeting workshop that is heading your way the end of January, right? So I'm seeing that I'm live on Facebook, so that looks good. And I'm live on LinkedIn. So we are live, guys. We are live on Facebook. We are live on LinkedIn. We are live on YouTube. Excited again to be collaborating with Marcia out of Barbados. I am from the beautiful twin island of Trinidad and Tobago. Um, as I mentioned, let me know where you're seeing me and hearing me from. I love to find out, right? The last live we had a little bit of issue. Persons had comments on LinkedIn, but I'm going to try to just manage that as we go through. So, just to reintroduce myself, my name is Debbie Jolie, and I'm a marketing strategist and business development consultant. Um, Operating in the Caribbean, but of course we are digital entrepreneurs, so we really serve the entire globe, and I'm excited about that. And as I mentioned, Marcia and I are teaming up, collaborating for a branding to budgeting workshop that is headed to you or headed that you can be a part of on January the 31st. I'm going to put the link in the comments for you to register. And this is part two of a series of lives that we are putting together to really try to give more information about this particular workshop, and of course to provide tips for all entrepreneurs. Especially, and I just want to point out again why this is so impactful and so important, and why it's really, really important for me as an entrepreneur, because I really think that after spending, a little bit of time in entrepreneurship now, I really realize that there are two important spaces that you kind of have to master. One is developing your brand, developing your personal brand, developing your corporate brand, and using that as a way to differentiate yourself in the market space. And also to building a business with financial intelligence. People tend to, I think, lose themselves. I think finance is not every entrepreneur's strong point, and so we struggle there. And if we are able to really get these two things right, or at least get it on the road for it to be right, I really believe that you'll have a lot of success, right? So that's what the workshop is supposed to be all about. I'm going to just put it up here quickly for you to see: from branding to budgeting, a comprehensive guide to financial planning and brand building. And I'm going to open up the floor, of course, for Marcia to introduce herself in case persons in my network are not familiar with Marcia. So, Marcia, feel you have the floor.
Hey, greetings to everyone that is joining us this morning. My name is Marcia Armstrong. I am the founder of A Purpose Life, and my superpower is helping corporate professionals and entrepreneurs to see money differently. So, in regards to what we're going to be sharing on today, we are super excited. I'm super excited, and I hope that you have your notebook ready, you have your pen ready to take the nuggets and the gems that we will share this morning.
Wonderful. So, Marcia, I'm making sure you're still here, hearing me. I saw like you kind of paused. We okay, right?
Yes.
All right, great. So, Marcia, I'm gonna let you take the floor. Our our topic for today is crafting an online presence, right? And, of course, this is absolutely critical for persons in the digital age. Yes, we can build our business and brands offline, but of course, there's an acceleration of technology and there is an absolute need to also build your brand online. So with that, I want you to tell us what we're going to discuss. We're going to be discussing budgeting in the digital age.
Yes, we will be. So we're looking at
Okay.
budgeting in the digital age, as well as some apps. What are some apps that you can use for financial tracking as well? So
Right.
I'm gonna dive right in. So when it comes to crafting a powerful online presence, you might not think that finances would be included in that scenario, but it is, right? It has to be included, because what I can tell you from my experience working with different persons, professionals, entrepreneurs, is that a lot of business happens outside of the digital atmosphere. Meaning that you're doing business, you believe in your mind that you're doing excellent, you're doing well, but when it comes to review data, there's nothing for you to produce in regards to a report, which is not something which is not a position that you want to find yourself in. So what are some ways in which we can incorporate technology? Because we are in the digital age, it is not something that we can shy away from. We have to learn how to actually incorporate it in our day-to-day operations. So how do we go about incorporating tech when it comes to budgeting or financial planning? Number one is that when we incorporate technology, we understand that we have an efficient expense tracking system. What that means is that as you would budget or as you would allocate funding for particular expenses, whether it is overheads or your revenue, you are able to seamlessly track, right, and categorize your daily expenses. So it's not a situation where you're thinking or you're guesstimating. You actually have accurate data, whereas that you can track again your expense or your transactional activity to know how your business is operating. What I also love about technology as well is that you can also sync. A lot of us can also sync our banking information to it, right? So there are some
Mm,
software apps that allows you to add your bank account onto it, so you understand at any given point in time how are you performing cash flow wise, right? And we know cash flow is the heartbeat of a business, right? If you don't
yeah.
have cash flow, you're going to run into problems. So being able to have everything at a glance in regards to knowing, okay, what are my revenues that I'm bringing in? What are the expenses or overheads that I'm paying? And to understand, okay, how do these activities affect my bottom line in my bank account? It puts you then in a position whereas you can have informed decision making, because you can't make a decision if you do not know where you stand financially. We also have to understand as well, when it comes to lending institutions, if you're going for funding, you need to be able to produce financial statements. Financial statements can't happen outside of technology. No one wants to have a physical book. No one wants you to bring Excel sheets, right? The banks we don't have time for that, right? They don't have time for that. They want you to be able to have your information in a way where it is presented in a reporting format, so that they can see at a high level what are the assets in your business, right? How is your business performing? Did you make a loss or did you make a profit a particular year? These are things that can only happen again when we take our manual input, meaning that you're going to input your actual transactions into a system and allow that system to give you reports that you need in order for you to seek funding, etc. So when it comes to decision making, again, to be ahead of the ship, to be the one steering the ship and knowing, okay, how am I performing professionally? You need to incorporate data. And what are some apps that you could use, right? Now, what I will tell you is that we always start free first, right? Start free first.
Yes.
So I don't want you to go
Definitely.
and expense yourself. So we're gonna start free first, and some of the apps that you can check out. We have Zoho Bucks is one that we can use for sure, because Zoho has a free plan. In regards to their actual offering, they have a free plan. Whereas that if you don't make a particular amount of revenue per year, you have access to that free plan to be able to start and to put in your transactions on your behalf. And of course, if you're going to look at other things like Wave at one point in time, that is also free, but Wave at one point in time was accessible to us in the Caribbean. It still is for those legacy users, but for persons who are now joining, it is no longer offering their access to the Caribbean. So what I would say is that if you are a legacy user though, you still have access to Wave. And if you have not used the app, if you are a Wave user and you have yet to use that app, this is your ding ding ding, your little nudge to tell you go and dust it off and use the app that you have, right? It is free. I use it for my business, right? It is something that is free. So definitely utilize that. Now, things that might cost some money as we venture further down the path would be things like QuickBooks. We know QuickBooks has been around for eons. And we also have things like FreshBooks. So what I would say, based on your business structure, based on what are the objectives of the business, you will select the software that suits where you are and where you want to go. So it is not a scenario where as you choose a software just based on where you are at today, because remember a lot can change in 3 months, a lot can change in a year. So don't let us think small this year, let us think big. So let us invest in things that we know that we might be at this level, but I potentially scale, I still have a software app that I can use and I do not have to shift to something else, right? So again, coming right back around again, just to sum this all up, is that technology, right? When it comes to your online presence, you have to make sure that your business is up there waving the financial flag in regards to you using the technology. We have so many AI different apps. There's so many apps out here that you can use. Don't get inundated with all of the resources. Look at the fact that what do I need right now, right? What do I need right now in my business? And match it to the software that can help you get there. Right? So again, when we're talking about online presence, your online presence as a business will be your financial structure or setup in regards to how you are tracking your income, how you are tracking your finances, being able to generate reports, being able to make decisions and understand, am I really performing well in my business, or do I think I'm performing well? Because any money that you make outside of tech, no one will know about it except you. No one will know except you. So that is why you have to bring your information offline and put it online. So that when institutions ask for certain data, you can just, with the snap of a finger, be able to download whatever report and send it to whoever it needs to be sent to so that you can get your relevant financing.
Great. I love that, Marcia, and I love the fact that you also mentioned that think ahead, that where you start now will not be perhaps where you are in 3 months or six months.
Exactly.
So that the decisions you make in terms of how you begin budgeting the apps you're using, you must be thinking about the future. Yes, because I mean the data is data that we inputting there, and we want to be able to have access to it and so on. So I do love that. I think that is really, really great. So with that, I let persons know if you all have any comments or suggestions or in agreement, let me know. We have a few persons from LinkedIn here, and I saw 1 or 2 persons on Facebook as well joining us in. So feel free to add your comments and or questions, and we will answer them, as quickly as we can. So jumping now to crafting an online presence and looking at your personal brand, I want to mention the fact that before you even get online, you need to do a little bit of an audit, which we will rarely go through now, but you need to do a little bit of an audit to understand your business brand, what it is you want to communicate, your values, and those things before you even begin, to really to kind of get out there, right? But in crafting an online presence, I have what I would call an 8-step activity for success. But today I want to share 4 of those things with you. And one of the first things must come as a result of the audit, right? Because we're all types of businesses and brands, right? We have consultants, we have persons who sell products, we have persons who sell services. It is important to get clarity. And why I say it's important to get clarity is because if you are not clear, your audience will not be clear.
That's correct.
If you are not clear, you will be communicating things in a kind of ad hoc way, and your community, your potential clients will be, we're not quite sure what this business and brand is about. So that's one of the first steps, right? To really look at, you know, your business and try to understand what it is you're trying to communicate. And of course, it's very important to connect it to the needs. Once you do that, you then need to begin to develop what I call your brand identity, right? What do you represent? What do you stand for? And it has both the aesthetic part as well as the value driven part, the hard part and the soft part, the part that we see and all the other information that we convey. So your brand identity is what people get to know about you, right? What they know about your brand. Um, and so that's important to develop, having almost like a brand statement, having a little bit of a branding guide that helps to solidify, and writing things down is super, super important. Not just keeping it in your head, but writing it down. And this is where we get that clarity. So the first step is really to develop a strong, clear brand identity, which is where you start in terms of communicating to your audience, right? The second thing now is to begin to share content, but not just any kind of content. You want to share value driven content. Why? Because gone are the days where we see these TV ads, and and what I would call one way type of advertising from the manufacturer or the brand straight to the audience, and there's no sort of feedback really. But because we live in a digital age right now, the customer, the consumer is so close to us. Persons can write reviews on Amazon, they can write reviews on your Facebook page, and they write comments under your content. And therefore, your community, your potential clients, your existing clients are very integrated in your business and in your brand. So it is important that the content you share be content that they want from you. And that only comes from doing enough research, engaging with them, and being able to provide the value that they need. So it has to be outward focus. It can't be about you, but really what your clients, potential clients, need from you. So your content must be valuable. That's the second thing. The third thing goes without saying that you need to be active on social media. All right, we could talk about that person say, oh gosh, we get social media fatigue. There are things that you can do to help you. I am not online 8, 9, 10 hours a day. I have ways in which I schedule content. I have a virtual assistant, and you can build in a system to allow you to manage your content. But I want you to think about this. As personal brands, we have to show up. The Coca-Colas of the world show up, the McDonald's, the Starbucks, and so on. They are present. They are on your phone. They are on your laptop. You drive around your country. You see these brands, right? So they show up and they are consistent. And in order for you to gain the credibility and the trust from your potential clients, you need to be active on social media. So you need to set some systems up to ensure that you have content that's coming out, and that you are, with my fourth one, that you are engaging, right? Lots of entrepreneurs as well, they put out content, but they don't necessarily engage. right? So we say we post and we hide. We post content and we hide. But really, the algorithm is affected like 50% or more, not just by the value of the content, but the level of engagement. So if you are posting and you are not engaging with your audience, it's it's not working, right? It's not working. And entrepreneurs have said that to me. I'm posting, but I don't find I get anything. And it could be twofold. One, is the content resonating? And two, are you engaging with the people there? Engaging means doing this, having a particular live, engaging with your community. Engaging means people posting comments and you responding to the comments, people sending you messages in your DMs and you responding to those particular messages. All that constitutes the disengagement algorithm, and it is as important as the content itself. I can't stress that enough. So, those are my four major tips. 4 out of 5 of the activities that you need to do if you really want to begin to craft your an online presence, building your brand online and crafting a very, very strong online presence. Now with that, I'm going to put back this up here. So we have Marcy and I have this amazing workshop again that I'm really, really excited about, called From Branding to Budgeting. If you want more information, feel free to direct message myself or Marcia. I'm going to put the link in the comments where you can register directly. If you want any more information, feel free to drop us a line. Right. Any closing comments there, Marcia?
So I just wanna your when you spoke about starting with an audit, that is a very good point that you would have mentioned, because it's so important before we jump into something that we actually write down where our past actions are present, as well as where we see ourselves moving forward. So
Mm.
sometimes you can get so excited about, I want to create content, and you just create for creating sake, or you just show
Mm.
up for showing up, say it, but there's no
Yes.
strategy behind it. And so I like
Yes.
the fact that you said, before we even get to that point, no, hold up, do an actual audit, see what worked, what didn't work, what got more engagement. It's about looking at the data analytics, or looking at data insights, to be able then to determine, okay, what you need to do. And one of the things I learned personally, even for myself, is that it's not really about the quantity, it's about the quality. Sometimes we get so fixated that we want to appear every day. And
Yes.
to be honest with you, some of us also might have a level of fear showing up online as
Yes.
well, in regards to even posting. Or like for me, I actually give myself a task this year to do more video. It's a
Mm-hmm.
stretch assignment for me, and people might not think this, right? People might say, well, she's bold, but it's a task. So to do something that I don't really have a good, I guess I'm not well versed as I would like to be. So it's like I have to put myself out the way as well too, and focus on the fact that it's not about me, it's about what I can share in regards to value and educating my audience. So I just want to just say that your feedback, or your input in regards to some things we should consider for sure, I think is very important. And my overall message would be to everyone who's going to watch this, and if you do watch it on the replay, just drop hashtag replay as well. But it's to let you know, if you have not yet registered, we are soon here, right? Today is the 11th of January. The month is flying. So
Yes.
you need to get into the room, register, register, register. We are going to be connecting for our From Branded to Budgeting workshop, happening on Wednesday, January the 31st, from 6 to 8 p.m. Come and give us your time for those 2 hours, and set your year with intention. Be able to set your year with the tools and strategies that you need. Be able to even implement these things the same night or next day, right? I want you to come prepared, come open to receive all that we will share. And if you have not registered, we will drop that link in the comments. Make sure you are one of the persons in the room when we do this workshop on the 31st of January.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Mars. Yeah. And of course, our next live next week, Tuesday, of course, is something I actually love, monetizing your brand. So I'm excited to talk about it. I'm also excited to get your perspective there as well, Mars, yeah, in terms of what persons are supposed to be doing and what they're not supposed to be doing. And there's so much information online about monetizing your brand. And so I'm very, very, very excited. So with that, guys, make sure to mark your calendars for next week, Tuesday. We will be on live here again, sharing more information, and sign up for our workshop, as Marcia said, January the 31st. Right? You all take care and have a great day and a great rest of week, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.